What is up, Geek Army? It's me, D here, and I wanted to do a quick kind of chill video here and kind of just talk about some things that have been going on lately in the community, as well as kind of my thoughts on, YouTube, the Dragon Ball community videos. And I'm going to come at y'all really chilled on this video. I'm not going to be my usual, over the top, I guess, crazy ass self like I've been in the past. Lately, there's been a lot of talk in the community about, from me and from several other people about, clickbait and credibility and things like that. I did a video last week about the evil Goku thing and how certain people went around saying it was factual, and then a few days later there was that Dragon Ball Z 2016 rumor, about the movie that Yamamuro claimed to have said was coming, but it really isn't. I mean, we haven't gotten any translation from several interpreters of that being the case. So there's no movie coming as far as we know. There might be a movie coming, but I guess we don't know. The thing is that, I'm going to be very honest with you guys. Before I started YouTube, I was very, and I started back in March. I'm a newbie here. I'm a rookie. I was very skeptical about the Dragon Ball community on YouTube because, as you guys know, the YouTube community as a whole, not just YouTube, but the internet is filled with like miserable people. And sometimes comments that people leave on your videos, you should brush a lot of the crap off, but sometimes it gets to you because we're all people, like we're all humans, There are certain triggers that kind of piss us off. And for me, there have been quite a few. And I just want to say, if I've ever, offended anybody or pissed somebody off, first of all, I apologize if I ever hurt your feelings. I've never intended to hurt somebody's feelings before. If with anything I've ever said, sometimes I can be a douchebag and a jackass. I will admit that. I'm not going to lie to you about that. A lot of times I get defensive when somebody tries to question something that I know is a fact. It does kind of bug me, but that to me is just kind of how the human race is on the internet. But back to my original point. So, I think about kind of how the community kind of is on, not just on YouTube, but everywhere. But YouTube is the biggest search engine. YouTube is the largest search engine other than Google, and Google owns YouTube. So when people are looking for information on Dragon Ball, they go to YouTube a lot of times. Should they go to KANZENSHUU first? Absolutely. I think they should go there first. But I was very surprised to find out how many people really weren't aware of KANZENSHUU, or that there were also a little bit of a stigma with them. Some people have talked to me about that privately, and I have to kind of explain to them the mentality. Because the reality is that KANZENSHUU, is the best Dragon Ball website, but it caters to Dragon Ball on an international basis. So when you go to their guides and whatnot, they're going to be catering to the Japanese version. That's what KANZENSHUU does. So if you're looking for English episode titles or whatever, you got to go to Wikipedia. That's not what KANZENSHUU does. Some people have a problem with that, but it's a fan site. It's, even though I think it's a little bit more than that. But before I got on YouTube, I watched only a few YouTubers, and I really was mostly just listening to the KANZENSHUU podcast, and that was kind of it. I tried to alienate myself from the community because I know how people can be. And now that I'm actually a part of the community, and I know I am making very positive changes to try to unite the community, because I want people who are on the level, people who are talented, people who care about their credibility to survive. And there's a lot of really good people on YouTube that don't have the credibility. They don't have the I guess the notoriety they deserve. One person that comes to mind is Lance Gaffer Tape. He does some of the best videos ever when it comes to recapping the Dragon Ball manga, and he's only got like 4,000 subs. He really deserves more. I mean, he truly does. Gabby's another one. Gabby, some people might not like her opinions on certain things, but Gabby's very, very smart. And in many ways, you should listen to some of the things that she picks up on, because she knows what she's talking about. Hail Zeon, another guy, very talented, deserves much more than what he has. And my big thing is my whole reason for making this video is, and I'm just talking. I'm not going to edit this thing. I'm just going to talk. is maybe I'll make it into a series called Geek Speak, Geekdom Speaks. I don't know. I'll figure something out. Geekdom's thoughts. I don't know. And I wanted to talk about like credibility and the importance of credibility. My thing when I started YouTube is that I'm very aware of my history with Dragon Ball and Star Wars and everything else. I'm much more of a hardcore Dragon Ball fan than I am Star Wars. There's so many Star Wars books I have never read, but Dragon Ball, I've looked at everything. I mean, there's very few Dragon Ball official things that I've never seen. There are some fan-made things I haven't checked out, but there are very few. I've seen everything. I've seen everything produced from Toei and everybody else Dragon Ball wise, in multiple languages. And my thing is about the importance of credibility, because to me, credibility was my number one ally in this whole YouTube thing. I wanted people to look at me and say, that guy's not a bullshitter. That guy's not a liar. He might not agree with us. Like, obviously I love the Kikuchi score more than the Bruce Faulconer score. Now I like some of the Bruce Faulconer songs. Don't hate me for it, but I do like Kikuchi's score more. He might not agree with our opinion. I know, for example, I don't hate the Bio Broly movie is like the worst one to a lot of fans. I actually think that the Second Coming Broly movie's worse. I'm in the minority, but, the point is that I don't have, I might not share the same opinion as you, but I want you, when you come to my channel, to understand that I'm very credible. So that's why I always, every time I do a video where I do my homework, I always double check Kanzenshu, double check my materials, whether it be my manga, whether it be and again, it's Viz, so you gotta be a little careful with that. Like I said in one of my videos recently, whether it be the anime, I always try to go back and look. I'm working on a video right now about Goku breathing in space, which is eating up a lot of time, and I've actually put it on hold because I'm actually looking at like 4 different versions of Dragon Ball Z and several different episodes in there to get the right answer. But like, credibility is my most important thing, because to me, if you have credibility, you might not be the biggest dog in the yard. And then one of the problems with YouTube is that some of the bigger dogs have no credibility whatsoever, and they like to spread misinformation, sometimes from an ignorant point of view where they just don't know, and they're not like, quote, as Super JAYAIN would say, they're not as hardcore as us. I'm not saying I agree with that, but he has a point. Like, sometimes they just kind of talk just for clicks. Other times they get secondhand information, and they don't really know how to properly digest that information. There's one YouTuber who I'm not going to name who always posts any news that comes out. He just puts it out, right? And no, it's not Rhyme Style, all right? Rhyme Style is not like that. And he puts it out without doing any kind of homework, without critically thinking about whether or not it's possible, and comes to false conclusions. I mean, that's pretty bad, because to me, in my opinion, here's my honest opinion, if you have a fan base, a following, if you have subscribers over, I say 10,000, you have a voice. And to me, it's your responsibility to be as accurate as possible. And I've made mistakes before. I know some of y'all crucified me for saying that Nail was weaker than Vegeta on Namek. I had to think that one through, and I was like, shit, that's true. I've made mistakes. I know that there's jokes about me being ice cold, no mistakes. That's mostly with my researched videos. The Q&As are just me kind of talking shit. When I do my homework, though, I make sure everything is nice and, compact. But to me, credibility is the most important thing. Like that's kind of what I stand on, and kind of what I hope will help guide this channel forward. Because I never thought I'd actually do this. Somebody told me to do this like 2 years ago, and I didn't do it because I just didn't want to edit video. I didn't think I was good at it, even though I did edit video in high school. Like I kind of knew how to do it. I'm pretty good at it. I'm not the best at it. Mike from LaughingStock Media, BLACKENFIST, Megan, they're way better than me. I'm never going to, you don't come to my channel for the great editing, even though some of the Dragon Ball in-depths I'm very proud of. You come to my channel, I hope, because you know that I'm not going to bullshit you, and you know I'm going to give you some information that you may not hear anywhere else. And to me, like, it really does bug me. Sometimes I go too far with my rants, but it really does bug me when somebody will make a video or put out a story that's blatant bullshit just for their own personal financial gain, because you're lying to children. Like that bugs me. Because a lot of the Dragon Ball fan base are kids. I mean, I know a lot of you guys have all kinds of age ranges from 25, 35. Some of y'all are like 15. Some of y'all are like, 23, 21, 28. But we have a lot of kids in the community, and I think it's wrong to tell people that there's going to be a new Dragon Ball movie coming out when there's not at all. Like, you need to really double check that. And I was very, very proud that a lot of the YouTubers who in the past have made mistakes like this, they actually, this week when that news dropped, they said it was not confirmed. I was very happy about that, because it shows that there's growth. It shows that sometimes it's not all about the clickbait. And my thing is that my credibility was called into question the other day, and I kind of lost it, because when you're striving to kill the bullshit, and that's your mission in this community. My mission was to change this fucking community, and I've done it. Because people are different now that I've come along. Call it ego if you want to, but I know I've done it. Ask QAAMAN. And when you accuse me of being the very thing that I hate, it does bug me. But maybe I shouldn't have exploded so bad. It's just that I have very strong, very firm beliefs on the matter. I think if you have a voice, you have a responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility, as Uncle Ben said. Anyways, that's it. That's my rant for the day. Got a big-ass Q&A coming up. Hope y'all enjoy that. And kind of light on the Dragon Ball content this week, mostly because I've got a lot of stuff going on in my personal life. Just to be honest with you, I'll be all right. It's just I have a lot of shit I have to get through this week. But, I'm still kicking. I got a lot of badass videos I'm working on. So hopefully you can enjoy that content and digest it. Almost at 30K. Let's see if we get there quickly. I hope so. It's taking too long. Anyways, well, thank you for watching the video, and I'll catch y'all down the road.